If you're like me, you're a big fan of Indian food. I found a recipe that originally comes from Punjabi, a state in northern India. It was uploaded on allrecipes.com by someone named Simig, and it's called Eggplant Bhurtha. Hopefully I'm pronouncing half of these things right. It's a few simple ingredients, a few simple steps, and we'll have some delicious Indian food. It would go great with naan or roti. Let's do it. First, you'll want to turn your oven to a broil and let it heat up all the way, and then we'll put our eggplant in there. First, we need to chop up a medium onion. So I already cut one in half and took the skin off. Get your towel under your chopping board to keep things steady and just work your way. I'm going to do pretty thin cuts. I'm not going for slice, but I am going for relatively small. Then take that. Work your way through it as you go. I can chop those pieces slightly more. Go after the big ones I might have missed. Okay, chopped onion. Continue that process and chop up your whole onion. Now that we've chopped our onion, we need to mince a piece of garlic, 1 clove. So take a clove, smash it down with the side of your blade to get the skin off. Okay. I peeled all the skin off of it. Throw that away. Then just using the bottom side of your blade, get your finger out of there, mince it up. Okay, I'm happy with that. Make sure you get it all off your blade. Keep it in a nice, neat little pile. 1 clove of minced garlic. You also need a teaspoon of fresh chopped ginger. So I bought one of the roots you'll see at the grocery. I peeled some of its skin off, and now I'm just going to lightly chop it. Again, I'm just going to use the back of my blade, kind of like you're mincing garlic. And a teaspoon is really not very much. Similar to the size of the clove of garlic. But because it's chopped, we're going to leave it slightly bigger than the garlic was. Alright. A teaspoon of chopped fresh garlic. Now we need to peel, seed, and dice a tomato. I've never peeled a tomato that wasn't cooked. So honestly, I don't know how hard it is to do peel a fresh tomato. Mine had an opening in it too, a bit of a slit. I'm gonna try cutting into it slightly. There we go, okay. Trying to get the skin off as best I can. Get an opening going so that I can actually get my peeler on it. There we go. There we go. Slowly getting the skin off. I peeled the skin off really just using my hands. People of Punjabi, you've got skills. Now with the seeds, there is a decent amount of seeds. So I'm really just going to scrape these seeds off into the sink and then dice everything that's left over. Luckily, the seeds separated from most of the tomato, so that's nice. Alright, now, I got most of the seeds gone. I can't get rid of all of them. Now just dice this tomato. It won't be hard to cut. It's a tomato, after all. If you don't like the core of it, don't use that part. I wouldn't. It's a little bit hard. But everything else, just lightly dice it up. Once your broiler is heated up, we need to spray an eggplant with cooking spray, lightly. I sprayed a little too much. Or rub it with oil. Then, put it on the top rack of your oven for half an hour so that it bakes. Rotate as needed. You also need a 1/4 cup of fresh chopped cilantro. So just very lightly, don't chop it too much or it loses a lot of its flavor. There we go. You don't want too much of the oils to soak into your chopping board. Cut your eggplant lengthwise. Watch out for juices. And then turn the 2 halves open. You're going to discard the skin, scoop out the flesh, and then we're going to chop up that inside. Now lightly chop up that eggplant flesh. You can go as thick or as thin as you want. If you hit any rough pieces, just discard them because we want it nice and soft. So again, just be careful. Don't burn yourself, it's still pretty hot at this point. Get a large skillet over medium-high heat, and then you need 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. And let those heat up with it. Now that the oil is heated up, you're going to need half a teaspoon of cumin seeds, and you're going to hear them start to crackle and pop. Stir them till they're brown, then we're going to add our onions, garlic, and ginger. Stir them around. Hear them cracking? You'll hear them popping. Oh yeah, that's what we want. Stir them. Alright, don't let them burn. Now add in your onion, your garlic, and your ginger. Now stir that around as well. And we want to saute this, but we don't want the onions to get very brown. Not yet. Alright, my onion is close to being translucent. It still has a ways to go, but some of the smaller pieces are getting translucent. You really don't want the onion to get brown with this. At this point, add your tomato. And you're going to hear that sizzle too. Oh yeah. Right now I'm really smelling the ginger of all things. You need half a teaspoon of ground turmeric. You need half a teaspoon of ground cumin. You need half a teaspoon of ground coriander seed. You need half a teaspoon of salt. And you need a 1/4 teaspoon of cayenne pepper. And I'm adding a little bit extra of all my spices, just for flavor. Keep stirring until they're all well mixed. You can also sprinkle with a little bit of black pepper. Not too much, because black pepper has a tendency to burn. At this point, mix in your chopped up eggplant and stir it for 10 to 15 minutes until a lot of your moisture evaporates. Again, it's up to you the thickness that you're looking for here. This recipe serves 2 really well. So when you're finally done cooking it, and it's at the consistency you like with the spices you like, mix in 1/4 cup cilantro total. So I'm doing 1/8 cup in each one. And I'm going to use a fork to mix it all together. Alright, I've got some of my eggplant Bhurtha. Who knows if I'm pronouncing that right. Blow it off, get some cilantro in your piece. Ooh, that's good. The eggplant gives it a strong, meaty substance to it. The spices are good. It's got a little bit of heat, but it's not bad. A little bit of sweetness, which I really like in Indian dishes. The cilantro in there just makes it taste really fresh. Put it with some rice, put it with some roti. You've got a delicious meal. And it was super easy to make, so please make this, follow along, impress yourself, impress everyone. And subscribe. Thanks for watching.